Welcome to Heal Dish, the space where healing gets real and you don't have to have it all together to grow. Each week we explore the nervous system, emotional resilience, and the journey from surviving to thriving. You're not broken, you're healing, and you don't have to do it alone. This is Heal Dish. Let's begin. Welcome everyone. Hey, on this Tuesday. Feels so good to be here. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend, a wonderful Labor Day, and just enjoyed some time off with your family and friends, whatever you needed to do. And so here I am, and my goal is to start doing my podcast at least 3-4 days a week, Monday through Thursdays, maybe sneaking in on the weekends if I have some time, sports and the kids, and things like that. And so today, we're going to focus on a NeuroSomatic art drawing. And unfortunately, I did have a guest that was supposed to join me. And so it'll just be me, and that's perfectly fine. And so let me tell you a little bit about NeuroSomatic art and what it is, why, kind of how it came to be, and just some different things so you kind of understand exactly what's going on. And good morning, Trish. It's so good to have you. And so, I spent just a little bit of backstory. I spent about 25 years in a traditional talk therapy. Did I get some things out of it? Absolutely. But it got to the point that I just felt like I was hitting a brick wall. There was really nothing else. I felt that my therapist loved her to pieces. Just felt like there was nothing else. I longed for more. And I got into trauma recovery, learning about trauma, how trauma not only lives in the, lives in the mind, but it lives in the body. So the psychological and the physiological lives in the cellular level. As trapped emotions per se. And I've been doing it for about 4 years. And as I started learning from Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, he's one of the world-renowned psychologists. He's in Massachusetts. Gabriel Maté, I believe he's in Canada. Janine Fisher. So as I started really diving deep into a lot of their education and really diving deep into the trauma world, I discovered that you can do so much talk therapy, coaching, whatever you need to do, working with a counselor, social worker. But what ends up happening is that trauma that stays in the cellular level doesn't come out. It'll just continue to stay there. And then when we go to talk about it, our body keeps the score. And so our body remembers what our minds do not. And those types of things are in the cellular level. I'm sorry, those things are in the subconscious. And so, throughout my trauma journey and throughout my childhood, I loved art. I loved drawing. I loved coloring. It's probably what kept my nervous system regulated all those times. As I got into an adult, I loved painting and things like that, and, coloring again. And I just feel like that's probably what kind of kept me level with my nervous system. Got out of it for a while. And last year, I started drawing again, started really implementing art. And so what I did is I created a 24-week program that can actually be broke down. You can either do it 24, 16, 12. We can even do a 10-week. I do have a 4-week as well. And a NeuroSomatic Art program. And so what NeuroSomatic Art is, it's a subconscious reprogramming. And it actually works on a lot of the it actually works on a lot of the different levels of our body. And so what I mean by that is if you are doing a lot of times we're doing like stretching, and they tell you to do stretching, and they tell you to do this, and they tell you to do that, and and all those things are fine, but what you're looking for is how can you activate the different parts of your body. And so what I started doing is I really started looking at how neurosomatic art can really start working on our bodies, how how it can just work on not only the body, but the mind per se. And so what I found out is that as I started doing it and everything like that, is that it engages both hemispheres of the brain, which is huge. It creates relaxation and stress reduction. It activates neuroplasticity and rewiring of the neural pathways, emotional processing, activation of the vagus nerve, which is another huge one, mindfulness and focus, facilitating a flow state, and personal empowerment. And so the neurosomatic art is just what it is. It's neurobiology, and it's how the neurotransmitters work in the brain and the brain structure. And so what it does is it helps to change mental blocks, mental health, limitations, trauma. And so it actually goes back through, and it actually starts rewiring all of those blocks and limitations that have been instilled upon us. And so it's actually good for those that are living with anxiety. If you have chronic stress, panic, mood swings, emotional overwhelm, depression, you feel disconnected, you have unprocessed trauma, grief, shame, if you're dealing with negative mindset, self-doubt, or perfectionism, if you're just looking for something more somatically to actually start working on your nervous system regulation and emotional regulation. And so I absolutely love it for all of those. And so it's just been just a blessing for me to be able to do this. And so not only did I create a 24-week program, but then I went on and I was like, sometimes our sessions are a little bit. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to create a 10-week mini. And so today I'm going to actually draw, and you're going to kind of see a part of the release and how it is. So if you're interested in drawing with me, I'm trying to find my thing here. So what you'll need to do is grab a sketch pad. Doesn't matter the size. I usually like using a smaller one. This one behind me over here, that one's not finished. That's about 3 hours in so far. And so we like to do these ones in about 30 minutes. So when I'm with my clients and we're doing these mini sessions, we draw for 30 minutes and then we integrate for 30 minutes as far as what's coming up. And so if you're interested in drawing with me today, if you don't have a sketchbook, you can always use white computer paper. And then I usually use, I have Pitt pens, but whatever pens that you would like to use. And so I have, these ones are called Micron. You can use these ones. I have Pitt pens that I use as well, which is like the Faber-Castell. I use these ones as well. So whatever you have, if you have Sharpies, use some Sharpies. That's perfectly fine. You have colored pencils, use some colored pencils. I'm excited, Trish. Good deal. This is a really good one. And this is actually a release. And so we're going to release overwhelm. I love Pitt pens. And so, it's a release, overwhelm, confusion, trauma, self-doubt, emotions. It's just a release, a block, limitation, whatever you have. And so, and then, let me see what else you need. Colored pencils, your favorite beverage, non-alcoholic. We don't want to change the mindset that alcohol can do. And so make sure that you're in an area you're not distracted by anything. And I believe that's it. And so let me get my setup here. Make sure I have all of mine. And if you need a couple minutes to go grab a drink, go take a couple minutes, go grab a drink, and then come back and we will get started. And so the framework that we're working on is called the Tangle and Thread. And I forgot, you are going to need a different color Sharpie or marker. So we prefer black, and then whatever other color that you'll need. If you don't have one, you're always welcome to use a highlighter if you'd like. For this one, I'm going to get my fine liner here. Some of my Sharpies, I'm going to use a pink fine liner and see. All right, and then I will get the rest of that out here after. Make sure that I have enough. Hopefully I have enough in that pink. If not, hopefully I do in one of these. And you'll see why we need it as we're going through. You'll see why we need it. If you don't have a fine line Sharpie to actually do the other part, you know, that's fine. Just if you have a regular Sharpie, that's fine too. All right, Trish, just let me know when you're back and we'll get started. You'll need a pen too, because you don't want to ruin your markers when we do this. And so while Trish is grabbing a drink, doing what she's doing, I'm going to move a couple things around here. Get my things set up a little bit here, and while she is doing that, I'm going to flip my camera so you can actually watch me draw in the middle of this. All right, I shall be right back. That way there, I don't make you dizzy when I flip my camera. So give me just a second. That is how that works. Sometimes this arm that I have sometimes can be a little weird. And so, I'm going to have to go back and switch my camera back. Unmirror. All right. Should be, yep. All right. So it's unmirrored now. Okay. Just waiting for Trish to come back and then we will get started. I do offer, I have a class coming up on September 9th, I believe is what it is. I have a free class. So I do private one-on-one, and then I also do group sessions. A lot of times they're just one time. I just started, I believe it's coming in November. I will be doing a 16-week reveal, release, and rewire. And so we will go through 4 phases, and we'll draw out whatever it is that you want to release, whatever it is that you want to reveal, release, and rewire. Coming up on September 9th at 6:30 Eastern, there is a class called Reveal Your Intentions, and we will draw out what intentions you have in life. Where is it that you want to be in life? And really draw those out. And then I have classes September 18th, the 25th. I have 3 in October. I'm excited about one I have coming up October 14th, 15th, and 16th. That I'm excited about. It's Balance and Clarity. It's a 3-day class. It's about releasing the negative energy in your chakras. And it's not about anything satanic. It's nothing, in the darkness realm of things that some people would think it is. It's absolutely not. It's more of, as we go through our daily lives, each of our chakras, we pick up on negativity. And so what better way than to draw them out, to release what is in there and just kind of clear them out and things like that too. So and things like that. And so, all right. So we're going to go ahead and Trish, are you back? All right. So we're going to start this part here. Okay. So on the back of your paper. All right. Perfect. All right. So on the back of your paper, make sure that you have a pen. We're going to actually start off with a pen. Perfect. Good to have you back. So on the back, you're going to use the pen when we do the first part of this too. So you can do your Sharpie if you'd like, or you can use your pen. So what I would like you to do is write the date. The date is 9/2/25. The framework that we're using is called the Tangle and Thread. And then whatever it is that you're looking to release. Again, it could be anxiety, it could be a trauma, it could be overwhelm, confusion. It could be anything that you're looking to release. And so for me, I like to be transparent. If you come to my lives on Mondays, I do a live, I'm hoping to do them Monday through Thursday, but on Monday evenings at 7:30 Eastern, it's more of your mental health and trauma, raw, real talk. And I bring a lot of life experiences in and talk about things. And tomorrow I'm actually going to be talking about understanding panic disorder. And so what today I'm going to do is I'm going to release the heaviness. And so my topic is heaviness, the heaviness that I carry from the panic. So heaviness is what I'm going to release. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to do it for 1 minute. Usually we do it for 2 if we're in our longer sessions. I'm going to set the timer for 1 minute. What I want you to do is I want you to write down any word that comes to mind. It's not going to be related, chances are, to whatever your topic is. And that's perfectly fine. Whatever word comes to mind, I want you to write it down. And ready, set, go. Okay. All right. Now what I want you to do is count your words. I got my thing here. I want you to count how many words you have. Sorry, my book fell. Okay. Sorry about that. Get rid of some more of this stuff up here. I feel like I'm like, oh my goodness gracious, I got a lot of stuff up here. Okay. All right. And so okay. And then what I want you to do is I want you to circle any words that represent whatever your topic is. And so my topic is heaviness. And then 22. Good. So what this is that this is a brain warm up exercise. But sometimes what ends up happening is as we do it, we start uncovering things from our subconscious, unconscious area, and we're like, "Whoa, wait a minute!" And then we look and we start relating our warm up, getting our brain warmed up, and sometimes the words actually relate to what we're talking about. Sometimes they don't, and that's perfectly fine. But it really opens up that doorway as we get ready into this release. And so the goal of this is to discharge whatever your topic is and to find a clear pathway through emotional chaos. And so, again, this should take about 30 minutes. Sometimes it may take a little bit longer. And so what I want to tell you is why when we get ready to do this, and I might start asking some reflection questions as we're doing this. And so Trish, that's what I'll do. And what I'm doing is it's actually highlighting what's going on in your body so you become more aware. So we're building that mindfulness about what's going on as you're doing this. Because we're doing a release, there are some things that I do want to, kind of be straightforward with you. And so some of the things that you could experience would be that you might start feeling sad. You might start feeling, your stomach might start getting upset. You might have a headache. Maybe your back might start hurting. Different things like that may start happening, and so there's just there's some things. It's just a part of. It's nothing to be alarmed if something like that happens. Obviously, I'm here. You can just type it in the chat or whatever. But I like to tell people that I like to let you know that there are circumstances where whatever you're working on comes out. And so it'll come out as pain. It might come out as a headache. Your eye might start twitching. Your leg could start twitching. All of a sudden, you're like, whoa, I feel lightheaded. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. Matter of fact, what's happening is that's the subconscious releasing it from your body. And where you're feeling it in your body is where it's sitting. And so if you experience anything like that and that's uncomfortable, you're more than welcome just to take some deep breaths. Or you're more than welcome to stop. Whatever you choose to do is perfectly fine. But if something, anything, just let me know. And so why this works is the scribbles mimic the body's experience of tension and confusion. And what it does is it activates the implicit memory. And so the deliberate thread line shifts the nervous system from reactive chaos to intentional flow. And so we start rewiring the brain towards problem solving and calm. And so what it does is it creates a somatic sense of release and order. You're welcome, Trish. And so what we're going to do is I want you to kind of feel on your page, kind of feel where you may feel an energy, kind of like tingles in the palm of your hand. And so if you feel that on your page, I want you to place your pen down wherever you feel it. And then I'm going to set, actually what I'm going to have you do is when you do that, what I want you to do is I want you to begin by scribbling or drawing a messy, tangled form of whatever it is that you want to release. And before you do it, this is what we're doing. I'll leave my little mark there. When we do this, this is actually how our subconscious sees whatever you want to release. So if I'm releasing the heaviness and I'm doing this, we'll do it for 3 seconds. This is how your subconscious actually sees heavy, or my subconscious will see heaviness. It sees shapes. And so that's how our subconscious communicates, is it sees shapes. And so on the count of 3, I want you just to draw a scribble or, something messy on your page. And so 1, We're going to do it for 3 seconds. So when I say 1, 2, 3, go, and then I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, and we'll stop. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, stop. So ours is going to look, it's going to look totally different, and that's perfectly fine. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I think this is, nope, that's not the one. Looking for my this is probably my last one. No, like where on earth is my, here it is. Okay, so I'm going to take my 1 inch. And so rounding, let me teach you rounding really quick if you have not, you're not familiar with it really quick, because not that you have to round all of this, but it would probably be best to round just a little bit of this. And so our rounding that we do, it's to smooth out, if you notice where the areas are intersecting. What that is that's conflict in our drawing. And so that's where the tension, the conflict, the trauma, the overwhelm, the heaviness, the confusion, the shame, guilt, whatever your topic was, that is where a lot of them sit. And so when we start rounding, what it does is it starts smoothing that all out, and it brings a state of relaxation, a state of mindfulness starts taking place. And so let me grab my paper here so I can show you really quick how rounding is. I don't know if I have it here. It's like, oh, no, I don't have it. Okay, so let me grab a piece of paper really quick to show you. I always say it's an upside down frown. Okay, all right. Move that for a minute. Okay, so we're going to say that you have, this is your line. It's not going to be perfect. Okay, so rounding, you're going to come down and you're going to go this way. So it's kind of like an upside down, or I shouldn't say, it's kind of like a frown in a way. Then we're going to go down this way, and we're going to go down this way. And then we're going to color it in. It's just going to be messy because I'm doing this just quick for you. But as you start rounding and you start filling it in, what you'll notice that these represent are neurons. And so as we start doing it, and then there'll be another one over here. I'm just going to do it really quickly. It's a little bit messy, but you'll kind of get the idea. What happens is they start communicating with each other as we're doing it. And as they start communicating, that's when the change happens in the subconscious. And so it's always going to be like this. This is how it's always going to be. So it's always going to be down and around. And so when you start rounding, it's not about perfection, it's about progression. And so I'm not going to round all of this because we will be here for longer. I'm just going to highlight some of the sharp, a lot of the sharp points, and just kind of get them smooth out here a little bit is all I'm going to do. Some of them I'm just going to leave. I could probably get this done a lot quicker. And so when it comes to the rounding, a lot of questions that we like to ask is, when you're rounding, what's coming up? Like, what's coming up for you as you're rounding? When you did your masterpiece, what was brought up? What came up when you did that? Did you have something that came to mind? How did you feel when you did that? When that came up? So this is kind of like the pattern of chaos, the pattern masterpiece of whatever it is that you are trying to release. And so just going back, and I'm going to highlight mine for a moment. Not the greatest, but it's okay. It's hard when you are on a live trying to do these and you're doing it, and then you're like, oh, whoa, wait a minute. Sometimes I can't talk and do them at the same time, but that's okay. Again, it's not about perfection. It's about progression, because if we want to be perfect, you're gonna be very disappointed in your drawings if they're not perfect, if you're a perfectionist. I used to be that. I am no longer a perfectionist. There are some things that I'm like, "Oh, I really wish that would look different," or, whatever, but now I'm like, "Yeah, no, I've let that part go." And so I'm just going back over and I'm highlighting, over my pen, and you'll see why, when we get started with the second phase of this. But again, just, you don't have to go back in and actually, do it all, as far as the rounding and all that stuff. But the rounding does that's where the magic happens, is the rounding. So what the when I go back over this, the lines actually represent our thoughts. And so, the line is our thoughts. And so as I go back over them, we might not know what it is that we're releasing, when we drew all of these, when we drew our masterpiece here. But the magical part of it is that the subconscious does. And that's the amazing part of this. All right. So I kind of highlighted mine a little bit. It looks, pretty interesting. I'm going to go back through and really shape up, some of these areas really quick, about, just round some of these areas really quick so you can see the difference, and how the drawing will look when it's all rounded out, and things like that. It looks totally different. It just looks more smooth. There's no sharp edges, although I may miss some. That's okay. It just looks a lot smoother when you're looking at it, and sometimes it's like you're just literally smoothing out whatever your topic is. And so, as I'm doing this, I'm literally smoothing out, the heaviness that I feel. All right, there we go. Some part. And so the next thing that I'm going to teach you how to do is how to do an intuitive line. So put that drawing aside. So an intuitive line is kind of, it's a free flowing, intuitive line that you just let your hand guide you. So what it is not, it is not patterned like this. That is not an intuitive line. It does not pattern. If you pattern like this, that means that you're in control. Um, as you see, it's the same. That is not an intuitive line. An intuitive line represents, clouds, the waves. And so an intuitive line, I like to start and just sometimes mine will be the same, only because, especially if I'm talking. But they're not the same, although they kind of look like a mountain going up, and things like that, but they're not the same. They're at different heights. And so they're really not the same, as you see. They're, very different. And so, that it doesn't have to be as wiggly. That's just how my brain draws them now. I can't draw, a regular line anymore. It's interesting. Like, my lines kind of go all over the place, and all of that stuff. And so, it takes a little bit of time, a little bit of practice, but that is an intuitive line. The intuitive line is your thought. And so what we're going to do is we are going to grab, the Sharpie, whatever color that you chose. I'm actually going to try to do purple. Purple's my favorite color. And so what you're going to do is I want you to start on the left side of your page, wherever you want to. And I want you to draw an intuitive line through your masterpiece of chaos. Whatever it is that you're trying to release here, I want you to draw an intuitive line through it, however you want to. And wherever it lands, just just let it go. Okay. So the chaos, is the tangle of chaos, whatever your topic is. So it'll be the tangle of whatever. Mine is the tangle of heaviness, but it does look kind of like chaos in a way. And then your new line is actually your thread. And so then what I want you to do is I want you to go back over your thread line, again, doing another intuitive line on top of it. And so, it's going to be a little bit different. You're going to have, some things you'll see. If you want to watch me for a minute, you're more than welcome to, because you want it to highlight. See? You want it to highlight again. And then we're going to do it one more time. Because we want this to be highlighted the best we can. There we go. Just going in really quick to try to round some of these edges really quick. How you doing, Trish? If you're just tuning in, welcome. We are doing a live NeuroSomatic art drawing. NeuroSomatic art is a therapeutic art that I created last year for clients that have trauma, mental health, overwhelm. You're looking to maybe you have a goal that you're looking to meet and you're trying to figure out why you haven't been able to reach your goal. You might have a block or limitation. So I use this with all my clients. And so this is what we do in session. All right. Ooh, got to put that Sharpie away. That sucker stinks. Ooh wee. All right. So that's what my tangle and thread looks like right now. And so what I want you to do is I want you to grab your black pen that you had, or not your pen, sorry, your marker. And then what I want you to do is just draw, probably, I don't want it to take too long because we just want to connect. We want to connect what's going on in our tangle to the outside world. And so what you're going to do is I want you to draw, probably let's just do for time's sake, let's just do 2 of them. And so 2 intuitive lines from left to right, because we're always going from the past into the future. And so we don't want to, we try not to go backwards when we're doing these, but you can start anywhere. You could even start up here and kind of go over, start up the top and kind of go over and things like that too. You can start at, one corner and end in the other, whatever intuitively feels right to you when you're doing it. And it's okay if you actually go over your thread. It's okay too. Okay, so I'm just going to do 2 of them for time's sake right now, because all we're doing is pretty much just connecting. I just want to connect this to the outside world. And because this is only like a 30, 45-minute drawing tops, Sometimes you don't even have to connect it to the outside world. I'm just showing you some options that you can do. So you can actually add in a couple more. And when you start getting familiar with this, with neurosomatic art, what I love about this is you'll be able to do this within a half hour, 45 minutes. And so don't get discouraged if you're looking and you're like, my drawing doesn't look like Gina's, or I can't get the rounding down. It's about, practice makes perfect. It's not about, again, it's not about, my drawing this, that. I had to practice for a very, very long time before I got it right. And my drawings looked, I was like, oh my goodness, my drawings look horrible. And then I was just like, yep, okay. When I started drawing every single day, I started noticing a huge shift, a huge difference. And so don't get down on yourself because, it's a new concept. But I do want to invite you. I'm doing a free class on, was it September 9th? I'm doing a free class, and I'd love to have you. If you go to artoftransformation.life, you can sign up there. We'll actually be doing one on revealing intentions. What are your intentions? What is your subconscious trying to tell you? And that would be a neat one. That one there will actually be about an hour and a half class. Which will be a good one. So as we round, we're smoothing out all of the conflict, all of the tension, all of the stress, all of the chaos associated with whatever our topic is. And so with mine being heaviness, I am literally releasing that heaviness. I also offer group workshops, one-time classes. Starting, I believe it's November 6th, we're doing a 16-week reveal, release, and rewire. And those all happen over Zoom. So you don't have to come to anything. It happens right in the comfort of your own home, car, wherever you would like to be. And so I'm just going to leave that like that for now. So mine's kind of connected to the outside world. Because this is a quick one, I could add more intuitive lines and kind of fill it up. But the goal is for you to still see what's going on in the background, but I just wanted to connect it. And then, so your tangle, I still wanted you to be able to see your tangle, but what I wanted you to be able to see was your thread. And so basically what we have created is the thread, is kind of representing, just say it represents you. So the thread is representing you going through whatever your topic is, showing that no matter what, you can go through. There's always, it's showing that no matter what, we can get through anything. You always have to climb that mountain to come out the other side. And that's what we're doing. And so what we're going to do is we are going to, if you're done with your rounding, you can color your thread any color you would like. Any color. But because mine is purple, I'm just going to color mine in with purple. I could have colored it with Sharpie, but next time I'll actually, when I do this, I'm actually going to use my fine liner side of it when I actually do it, to do the rounding, or not, when I go back over and do it. So then that way there, it's a little bit more highlighted. You could actually do a purple, you could do an orange, whatever color you feel like doing, do it to make it stand out. Whatever color you feel like doing, do that. And so what we want to highlight is we want to highlight the thread. We want to highlight and emphasize clarity and release. And so we're releasing it through the thread. You're going through it. Now, if you want to color your background, you're more than welcome to. But I would not color them a dark color. If you used like purple, I wouldn't color these anything dark, because what we want to do is make this stand out. So you could color it all one color, or you could color it, however you would like. But the goal is to make your thread stand out. So we don't want anything else. When we look at your drawing, we want the thread to be able to be seen. And so when you hold it up in front of you, which, so if I hold it like this and somebody's looking at your drawing and you're holding it up in front of you and somebody's looking at it, you want them to see your thread first. You don't want them to see anything else. You want your thread to stand out. And so, whatever color you use, what does that mean? What does that represent for you? And so my purple, what comes up for me is bravery. And so I'm actually going to flip my paper over. It's already on there, but for where the Sharpie went through. And I'm actually, I put a piece of the colored pencil and I'm going to write bravery. That way there, when you're going back and you're looking at your drawing, you will know exactly what that color meant for you. And so when you look at your drawing, you'll say, wow, look at that tangle of whatever I was going through. But look at the bravery that I took to get through there. That's what you have to look at. Trish, did you have anything coming up for you on that moment? Anything as far as the emotion or anything about the color that you chose that you would like to share with us? All right, and I'm going to color my background a couple light colors because I want you to be able to see. I want you to be able to see the thread. That's fantastic. Courage. I love that. So we're kind of on the same track of things. Bravery, courage. I love that. So make sure that you mark the green on the back and you write courage, because it takes a lot of bravery, a lot of courage to walk through things when we're trying to release them. And so each compartment that we have created in between our intuitive lines are called fragments. And so when you color, you need to color 3 fragments the same. And so it could be 1, 2, and then all in here is actually a fragment. And so, or 1, 2, and then would be another fragment. 1, 2, 3. So you have to color at least 3 fragments the same color. You can use, if you want to leave one white, you have to leave at least 2 white, and the whites are usually the unknowns. But what's coming up for me, I'm actually going to use these ones. And what's coming up for me is to use these 2 colors. These are usually my favorite colors to use. But because, especially with, wanting to do a lighter background, things like that. But what's coming up for me is, as a Christian, yellow is just coming. Yellow is representing my faith, is representing God in this moment. Um, and then this one is representing kind of like water. For some reason, that's what I keep feeling like a swish wash, like water, because the water is going to move me. It's going to move the thread out, is what these both are. That's kind of what I'm feeling with both of them here. And you can color more than three, by the way, too, not just three. So you can color more than three. It has to be a minimum of three of the same color. And this is very relaxing. What I love about these, although I'm talking, but what I love about doing these is, because you don't have to color these. If you're just doing them, you can do this and then just do the release and highlight your release and be on your way. You can actually do these before work. This is good before church, before going to bed at night, before you start your day. So there's a lot of amazing things that you can do with these mini frameworks, which is amazing. So this one is a release. So this one you could continue to use to release, whatever it is that you would like. You never want to do two topics in one day because you will really kind of get your subconscious, your mind will kind of go bananas in a way. Another thing that I want to tell you is when you get done with a drawing, you'll need to stay off of social media, TV, because those influence what the subconscious is trying to repair. And so, what we're undoing, you're just going to go back and undo again by getting on and getting on social media, listening to music, um, or if you are watching TV. And so, it's best if you can just, go about your day, do what you were doing, and then just let this work its magic. That's really what we're trying to let it do. And I'm not going to color all of this. I'm just trying to color where I really feel like I should be coloring. Um, and see. And all of my frameworks are they're all trademarked, and I have all the copyrights to them. And so I would ask that you do not share them in a professional setting with your clients at all, unless you get written permission from me. Um, and if you want to show your friends, I would appreciate if you would, you know, resource them back to this video. I would appreciate that. All right. My goal is to go live with my drawing at least one time a week. Then I have my podcast on Monday evenings. That's where we talk about mental health. That'll probably be Monday and Wednesdays. So Monday at 7:30, Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern. Those will be the trauma. And then Thursdays, I'm not sure if I will go live. I might just do Monday through Wednesday right now. And then what I'll start doing is on Thursdays, my Thursday podcast will be more of the Christian side of things. It'll be more of, for people that have gone through things and they want to share a portion of their testimony, a portion of what God has done for them. So this drawing has been a life changer for me. Sorry, not the drawing, but the drawing, all of my frameworks has been a life changer for me. My frameworks are all, I can't think of the word, but they are all backed. That's not the professional term that I wanted to use, but I couldn't think of the word. They are all backed by a psychologist that has looked them over, used them, given me the stamp of approval. And just seeing what's coming up for my clients and our own sessions and things is just such a neat, just very heartwarming and honoring, because so many people are being set free from years of trauma, of what the subconscious is holding on to, and to be able to release it with something that is just fun to do. Because a lot of times, we don't know what's going on, and the drawing will speak for us. And, some people have no idea. And they'll say, I don't want to talk about my trauma. And I say, yep, that's why the art is good. Especially good for people that, if it's not like you're going to, it doesn't make you remember. It just helps you with releasing, but you might have an aha moment and say, oh, I didn't realize that. But it's really good for those that don't have the words to express, especially like teens. Really good for them, for the adolescents, when they don't have the words to express, or us as adults don't have the words to express. And so we're like, oh man, what's going on? And so it's really powerful. And so that's what mine looks like. So just something to show that through the tangle of everything going on, that my purple represents bravery, that I am brave enough to walk through this storm, to walk through this tangle, because it's all going to work out. And I just feel like those are the areas that I wanted to highlight today. And if you wanted to sit down, do you recommend rounding the thread with each intersection also, or just leave it? That's entirely up to you, Trish. If you are looking, I did round some of mine into place, but that's entirely up to you. If you feel like there's some tension and conflict, and you're looking at it going, I don't like it like that, round it into place. That's fine. Listen to what your body is telling you. Because I have clients that even in session, I have clients that will say, you know what? I think I did enough rounding. I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. So whatever your body is telling you to do, I just naturally round a portion of it, because why I like rounding, especially when we're doing the thread, is because it makes it look like it's actually a part of the drawing, but it stands out above the drawing. And so when you hold your drawing up in front of you instead of looking down at it, it's kind of a different angle. You may get something different out of it, which is cool. You're welcome. And every thread, that when you do this, every thread is going to be different. You may do it. We only went over it 3 times. You can go over it as many times as you want to. So you may end up having a bigger thread, and you may say, oh, you know what? I want to round that into place. So whatever you would like. And then as far as coloring, again, you could color the whole thing. You could have colored the whole thing one color, just so your thread stands out. If that's what you wanted to do. And so the focus, even holding this up in front of me, you can't see it, but even the focus as I'm looking at it, the focus is still the thread. Although the yellow is brighter, but you see the thread because you're like, oh, that caught my eye. And so, how did your body feel during the scribbles versus the thread? Some questions just to kind of ask yourself. If your tangle represents past experiences, what does your thread, if your tangle represents past experiences, what does your thread represent for you today? And where in life do you need more clarity or direction? So just some good integration questions just to kind of ask yourself. You're welcome. And so if you go to artoftransformation.life, there, if you click on what is NeuroSomatic Art, it'll actually tell you in detail more about the experience, about what it is, how it works, who it's for. Um, and we're really, and then I believe it's that tab or the group tab will show you the benefits of using neurosomatic art as an adult. You'll click on it, it'll bring up a page and kind of show you just the benefits of it. There's a lot of different drawings on there and things like that too. And so, go over there, check it out. Email me with any questions. As you see, I'm a live person. Email me with any questions, and I will be more than happy to answer them. But again, I do have a free class coming up on September 9th at 6:30 p.m. It'll be held in a Zoom, so it'll be me and whoever else signs up. Again, that's on the 9th, and that's going to be probably about an hour and a half class. It'll be the same materials, but that will be more of revealing your intentions, revealing what you are trying to do, or maybe you have an idea of what you're trying to do, but you have some blocks. And so revealing those blocks, revealing intentions and things like that too. So I hope you enjoyed this first drawing session on Healedish. Again, we go live Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We'll be adding Thursday pretty soon. Monday is Monday evenings at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. Tuesdays and Wednesdays is 11 a.m. Eastern Standard. And we would love to have you back on our evening lives, or Monday, or any lives for that matter. But our Mondays are more of the trauma and mental health real talk. Tomorrow, because I didn't go live yesterday, so tomorrow we will be picking up with understanding panic disorder, coming from a trauma survivor and professional standpoint. And so I hope you would join us tomorrow at 11 a.m. right here on Healedish. Be sure to like, share, and comment. What you loved about the drawing, some insight that you have in the comments for other people. And we will see you again tomorrow, warriors. Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.